He was not born in a palace. He was born in the wind and dust of the Mongolian steppe, in a world of hunger, raids, and betrayal. His name was Temujin, a boy from a small nomad clan, living in a felt tent, moving with the herds and the seasons. Before he could become a man, his father was poisoned by enemies during a journey. The moment his father died, the tribe that once followed them turned their backs and rode away. Temujin, his mother, and his younger brothers were left alone, with no protection, no food, and no friends. In the freezing nights, he learned one hard truth: no one is coming to save you. If you want to live, you must fight for every breath, every bite of food, every day of survival. Temujin's hard life did not end there. As a teenager, he was captured by a rival clan, his hands tied, a heavy wooden collar locked around his neck. He was treated like a slave, watched by guards who laughed at the idea that this boy could ever matter. But even in chains, his mind was free. He watched, he listened. He studied how his enemies spoke and moved. He waited for a moment when fear in their hearts would be stronger than fear in his. One night, a sympathetic guard took a risk and helped him escape. Temujin ran into the darkness, the collar still around his neck, the cold biting his skin, but his heart burning with a new fire. He had tasted humiliation and prison. From that night, he promised himself if he ever gained power, loyalty would be rewarded, and betrayal would never be forgiven. Temujin understood that one family alone could not survive on the steppe. The tribes fought each other, stole animals, kidnapped women and children, and wasted their strength on endless revenge. He decided to do something no one had done before: unite the Mongol tribes under one banner. He did not rely only on blood ties. He chose men for their loyalty and skill, not just for their family name. If a warrior fought bravely, he could rise, even if he was born a slave. If a noble betrayed him, he could fall, even if his ancestors were famous. Slowly, through smart marriages, hard battles, and powerful speeches, Temujin gathered followers who believed in him. On a great council called a Kurultai, the chiefs agreed to give him a new name: Genghis Khan, the Universal, ruler of all Mongols. Once united, the Mongols moved like a storm. Genghis Khan's army did not walk slowly like old armies. They rode fast horses, carried light armor, and could travel farther in a day than most enemies in 3. They attacked from directions no one expected. They pretended to retreat, then turned back to strike when the enemy broke formation. They spread fear with stories of cities that resisted and were completely destroyed. But behind the terror was careful planning. Scouts rode ahead to map the land. Messengers carried orders across huge distances. Every soldier knew his position and his task. From the kingdoms of northern China to the rich cities of Central Asia, walls and crowns began to fall before this new kind of war. Genghis Khan was not only a destroyer. To hold such a huge land together, he needed more than fear. He created strict laws, known as the Yasa, to control violence inside his own army and among his people. He protected traders who crossed his lands, making the old Silk Road safer than it had been for centuries. Relay stations and fresh horses were placed across the empire so messages could travel at incredible speed. In his realm, a merchant could move from one end of Asia to the other under Mongol protection. He also allowed different religions to live and work. Monks, priests, and imams could pray for their people as long as they did not challenge his rule. This mix of hard law and surprising tolerance helped turn chaos into an organized empire. Even the greatest conqueror cannot escape time. Genghis Khan died while still on campaign, far from the simple places of his childhood. His body was carried back in secret, and legends say the men who buried him killed anyone who saw the funeral path, so the grave would never be found. After his death, his sons and grandsons continued to expand the empire, riding all the way into Eastern Europe and deep into the heart of China. The Mongol Empire became the largest land empire in history, stretching like a shadow from the Pacific Ocean to the edge of Europe. Today, his name still divides people. Some remember only the cities burned and the lives lost. Others study his laws, his system of communication, and his ability to turn broken tribes into a single unstoppable force. One thing is certain: the world map, our trade routes, and even the bloodlines of millions still carry the mark of Genghis Khan.
Subscribe, like, share. Thanks for watching.